Chapter 19 of The American Housewife. This is the LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The American Housewife by Anonymous. Chapter 19. Jellies. Section 329. Strawberry, Raspberry, and Blackberry Jelly. Jellies of these fruits are all made in the following manner. Take the berries when ripe and in their prime, mash them, and let them drain through a flannel bag without squeezing it. To each pint of juice put a pound of white sugar and the beaten white of an egg to 3 pounds of the sugar. Set it on the fire. When it boils up well, take it from the fire and skim it clear. Set it back on the fire. If any more scum rises, take it from the fire and skim it off. Boil it till it becomes a jelly, which is ascertained by taking a little of it up into a tumbler of cold water. If it falls to the bottom of a solid mass, it is sufficiently boiled. Section 330. Cranberry, Grape, and Currant Jelly. They are all made in the same manner. Take the fruit in its prime, wash and drain it till nearly dry, then put it in an earthen jar or pot, and set the pot in a kettle of hot water. Set the kettle where the water will boil, taking care that none of it gets into the jar. When the fruit breaks, turn it into a flannel bag, and let it drain slowly through them into a deep dish without squeezing. When the juice has all passed through the bag, put to each pint of it a pound and a half of white sugar. Put to each quart of the syrup the beaten white of an egg. Set the syrup where it will boil gently. As fast as any scum rises, take the syrup from the fire, and skim it clear. When the jelly has boiled 15 or 20 minutes, try a little of it in a tumbler of cold water. If it sinks to the bottom of the tumbler in a solid lump, it is sufficiently boiled. Jellies are improved by being put in the sun for several days. Care must be taken that the dew does not fall on them. Section 331. Quince Jelly. Halve the quinces and take out the cores. Boil the quinces till very soft in clear water, mash them, and let them drain through a flannel bag, without squeezing them. Put to the quince liquor, when drained through the bag, white sugar, in the proportion of a pound to a pint of the liquor. Add the whites of eggs and clarify it. When clear, boil it on a moderate fire till it becomes a thick jelly. Fill glasses with the jelly, and cover them tight. The quince pulp that remains in the jelly bag can be made into marmalade. Section 332. Apple Jelly. Halve tart apples and take out the cores. Boil them till very soft in a large proportion of water, then let it pass through a jelly bag without squeezing them. Weigh the liquor, and to each pint of it put a pound of white sugar, then boil it slowly till it becomes a thick jelly, which is ascertained in the same manner as currant jelly. If you wish to have it of a red tinge, put in, when taken from the fire, a little cranberry or beet juice. If you wish to have it a straw color, put in a little tincture of saffron. If green, use the expressed juice of spinach leaves. Let it pass through the jelly bag again. When cool, turn it into glasses. Section 333. Lemon Jelly. Put on a slow fire an ounce of white isinglass, pulled into small pieces, and rinsed, a pint of water, with the rind of 6 lemons. Stir it constantly till dissolved, then add a pint of lemon juice, and sweeten it to the taste with nice white sugar. Boil the whole 4 or 5 minutes, then color it with tincture of saffron, and let it pass through a flannel bag, without squeezing it. Fill your jelly glasses with it when partly cooled. Section 334. Calf's Feet Jelly. Take 4 feet that have been perfectly cleaned, and boil them in 4 quarts of water till very soft, and the water is reduced to 1 quart. Take it from the fire, and let it remain till perfectly cold, then take off all the fat, and scrape off the dregs that adhere to the jelly. Put the jelly in a preserving kettle, set it on a low fire. When it melts, take it from the fire, and mix with it half a pint of white wine, the juice and grated rind of a couple of fresh lemons, and a stick of cinnamon or mace. Wash and wipe dry 6 eggs, take the whites of them and beat them to a froth. Stir them into the jelly when it is cool, bruise the shells and mix them with the jelly, then set it on a few coals. Sweeten it when hot to the taste. White sugar is the best, but brown answers very well. Let the whole boil slowly 15 minutes, without stirring it. Suspend a flannel bag on a nail, and let the jelly drain through it, into a deep dish or pitcher. If it is not clear the first time, let it pass through the bag till it becomes so. The bag should not be squeezed, otherwise the jelly will not look clear. When transparent, turn it into glasses, and set the glasses, if the weather is hot, into cold water, and keep them in a cool place. This kind of jelly will keep but a few days in warm weather. A knuckle of veal and sheep's feet make a nice jelly, prepared in the same manner as calf's feet. Section 335. Hartshorn Jelly. Boil 4 ounces of hartshorn shavings in a couple of quarts of water till it becomes a thick jelly. Then strain and put to it the juice and rind of a couple of lemons, a wine glass of white wine, and a stick of cinnamon. Wash 4 fresh eggs, wipe them dry, separate the whites from the yelks, beat the whites to a froth, bruise the shells, and mix them with the hartshorn. Set the whole on a moderate fire, sweeten it to the taste when hot. Boil it till it becomes quite thick, then let it drain through a jelly bag till clear. End of chapter 19.